Good evening and welcome to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, December 8th. Tonight, we'll take a roll.
Mayor Bauer,
Here.
Commissioner Maxson,
Here.
Commissioner York,
Here.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Here.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Here.
Tonight's invocation will be led by Dick Smith. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lord, this evening we are so grateful for your provision and your care for us. We're thankful for these people who serve in our city, help wise decisions. Us all, help us to make this children to grow up, grandchildren, meet the needs of the people. So tonight, we're motivated to offering and to
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Move into the consent agenda. Coffeyville City Commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. Action to set a public hearing for December 22nd, 2020 for the 2020 amended budget and a 2020 appropriation ordinance number AO-20-23 in the amount of $2,476,700.09. Questions or comments or amendments to these first three items on the consent agenda?
I just have a few. Excuse me. I just have a few. We have made various payments again to Algar Martin, who is our engineer on various projects that we have going here in Coffeyville. We had a $62,000 payment to Graybar, and that is concerning all the fiber optic upgrades and things that are going on. We also had $1 million. The bulk of this ordinance this month was $1,400,000 for revenue on the revenue bond series, the interest and so forth, and that was, like I said, $1,433,598. Our payroll for these past 2 weeks amounted to $405,237, and we also had health claims and things paid out for several months, going clear back, I think, to some July, August, and so forth, about $335,000. So once again, there's some of the things that it takes to run the city that we come up against.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Van Oster. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Maxson,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye. This time we'll take comments from the public. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. The commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. The commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. I thought Chris was going to come up and talk. Okay, at this time we'll move into the regular agenda items. Candy Westbrook, Executive Director of the City of Coffeyville Area Chamber of Commerce, will give a presentation.
Pulling my silence so you guys can hear me good. Good evening, and thank you, both commission and city staff, for letting me come tonight and give our year-end presentation on the year-to-date report. So much to include, I couldn't even fit it on one page, and so I'm just going to hit a few highlights tonight because there was so much going on this year. With the hardship and challenges that we face this year, we really wanted to get back to the basics here at the Chamber, and that was building a strong business community for Coffeyville. That's always our focus, of course, but this year more important than ever that we really help every single business stay strong and stay open. And so we focused on a few different things this year. communication being one of the key components, something I always believe in, that I've always been strong in making sure we have good communication. But this year, more than anything, we wanted to make sure that both our businesses and our community had all the tools and access that they need for information. Now, the good thing is we do have a lot of connections, and so we're able to get that information out to a lot of people. We average about 4,500 website views. We have over 4,000 Facebook followers and 800 email subscribers. Earlier this year was a little challenging for some businesses financially, and we weren't sure how membership was going to go. But our members proved that the chamber membership was important to them, and we were able to stay strong with 246 members this year, 26 new in 2020. So that was actually kind of surprising for us, and we were excited about that. As I said earlier, I did offer a lot of communication in the past, but this year more than ever, we wanted to make sure that every business had information. So we started a weekly, and in fact it was daily when the COVID hit, that was a little much, but a weekly update for our businesses that included everything from loans, grants, business strategies, marketing resources, opening guidelines, mandates, you name it, anything that we could give to our businesses to help them be successful. We started that up. It takes a few hours each week just to combine all that information and research it, but we feel like it's important for our members. We also did the same thing for the community. We started up during the pandemic. It was really focused just on helping with mandates and guidelines, but then it's kind of turned into just all kinds of news for our community as well as events. In addition, we added all this information to our website, so at any point a member of the community can get on the website or our business and get to our resource page to find out about the latest mandates, closures, updates, you name it. So that was very important to us to keep that communication going strong. In addition, we wanted to make sure we had constant communication with our legislators. They needed to know what challenges we were facing here in Southeast Kansas, and so stayed in constant communication with lots of different legislators, but especially Jim Kelly. He was a great resource for our community, so that was good. In addition to just staying in constant communication with the legislators, we felt we needed to advocate on behalf of Coffeyville more than ever. And so we worked on several campaigns. One of them was the Go Rail campaign to kind of help support the Staggers Rail Act, since we have several railroads right here in the area. And we also worked on publishing some election guides, as well as continuous election information out to the community. So that was just something that it was hard when we didn't have forums, so we wanted to make sure that we still provided that information to our community. And I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention early on, I get excited about stuff and I talk a lot, so at any point, if you have a question or if I don't cover something, because like I said, I couldn't fit it all in tonight, just give me a shout, wave me down. So collaboration has also been very key to our mission. I feel like we can do so much more when we team up together. So we wanted to make sure we continued working with groups and organizations in the community to make sure that we can keep going forward on our goals. So one of the things that we worked on this year was collaborating on the census. That seemed to go on forever and ever and ever. But it was wrapped up this past month, and it took about a year and a half, but I think it ended on a good, strong note. We also hosted 2 collaboration meetings within the community so we could identify big, bold ideas of what we could do to help Coffeyville. And I am excited to say that one of those ideas that came out of it is we're going to have a task force that starts up January or February that is going to work just on the development of a Coffeyville image campaign. We feel like it's something that online we don't have a strong presence, and Coffeyville has so much to offer, and we just got to combat all the negative stuff that's out there. So we're going to work on some fundraising and some projects so that we can develop a strong presence online for Coffeyville. So look forward to more information on that soon. We had lots of new initiatives this year because we kind of had to change everything up. So I won't go through all of them, but a couple things that really stood out for me this year was working on our bounce back, well, several shop local programs. We did several of them this year, but the bounce back was one of the biggest ones. $47,000 was spent in the community in a 3-week period, and an additional $5,000 was given back to the community in those bucks. And it was a great program, very successful. Part 2 of that, and I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. In addition, something that we kind of felt was important is we diverted some of our income that we kind of needed, but it was more important that we felt like that we supported our businesses right now with everything that was going on. And so we diverted some of our income to buy PPE supplies, disinfectant sprays, curbside signs, got brand new downtown curbside signs. We even gave out grants to some businesses that had closed because of quarantine. So just really felt like in every penny that we could give, we were giving back to our businesses to try to help them out this year. Another thing that I have done for the last few years, but I've been very excited about, is just offering more training and education to our community. And this year we took it up another level. So in addition to just webinars, we had lunch and learns, we had workshops, we even had conferences. We were able to bring in a representative from the National SBA, Small Business Administration. Someone from Pittsburgh came in from the Small Business Development Center. We had several other presenters, and we were even able to coordinate with the Kansas Chamber to offer a Women in Business conference here in Coffeyville. So that was exciting that we were continuing to offer training and services and tools that we could give our members. Something else we did a little different this year was early on during the pandemic, we felt it was important that every business in Coffeyville had access to that information and those services. So whether they were a member or not, they could go to our trainings, they could get information, they could get on our newsletter, they could even get some of our supplies and services. That was just something that, well, I'd like to be able to do that year round. For sure, this was the year that we wanted to make sure that every business in Coffeyville had that opportunity. So. Our tourism was able to stay really strong this year, and I think it's because our director really took a chance on shifting all the focus to local visitors. So spent a lot of time educating Coffeyville on what we had to offer here, but also just kind of advertising to what we call the day trip people. So people that can come in just to do a little shopping, experience Coffeyville. And because of that and a few other projects, we were able to do really well on our tourism dollars and maintain a strong database on that. She worked on several projects like Guess Where Coffeyville. We had free ices to the grads. But one of the really neat things that we did this year, and I hope we can expand upon and do a little bit more in the future, was offer free tours and training to our frontline workers. You know, a lot of visitors come to Coffeyville and we don't even know that they're here. They go to our gas stations and our hotels and our shops and restaurants, and those workers are what they are exposed to. That's their kind of ambassadors, so to speak, of Coffeyville. So we want to be able to offer more trainings to them so that they are putting the best foot forward for Coffeyville that we can. And then, of course, this was like a 3-year-long project, but she was excited to get the Death Alley murals finally up, and those look amazing if you haven't been downtown to see those. And a big shout out to the city for putting the lights downtown, so now you can even see the murals at night. So they're wonderful and a great treasure that we have here in Coffeyville. So that went really well this year. We did have to cancel several events, just like everybody in the community, and so it was quite a challenge. Brewfest was one of my favorites, and I was sad to see that go this year. Our Spooktacular and several other events. However, December is the month for Coffeyville. So many activities and events happening that it's making Coffeyville a destination place for the holidays. So we kicked it off with the parade on Friday. It was a great turnout, and it was beautiful, beautiful weather, beautiful lights, and good spirits. So you don't always see that sometimes right now in this year, but everybody was in great spirits. So that kind of kicked it off, and then we were excited that our blessed treasure of the candlelit tours was able to still go on. So they worked hard on some new protocols to keep it safe for our community. And so the Brown Mansion is going to be having those tours. And then the Reawakening office has worked really hard on bringing a new event, which is Christmas on the Plaza. So the same nights as the Brown Mansion tours, you can go downtown and do shopping, activities, music, you name it. There's so much going on. I can't even list all the activities. So. We also started up a new holiday decorating contest this year, and that is being judged this week. A lot of great entries. Again, thank you for the city for offering the free electricity on our top 3 winners. So that brought a lot of people out of the woods for that, so that was exciting. And we also worked on a map So families can jump on our Facebook page, and there's a Google map of all the decorations in town. Everybody listening at home and here, if you don't have your address listed on there, please do. There's a lot of beautiful homes, and they weren't even listed. And I'm like, come on, everybody. So, but you can just jump on that map and drive around Coffeyville and see all the lights and experience the joy of Coffeyville. And I mentioned earlier, our Bounce Back program was so successful that this year, for our Christmas giveaway, we decided we wanted to do it the same. Instead of having a drawing with a few lucky winners, we wanted everybody to have some extra cash in their pocket this season. And so we're going to do it the same way as the Bounce Back. Basically, spend $50 in the participating businesses, and you get $10 back in bucks. And again, we hope that brings in more revenue for our businesses and for our city. So we're excited to kind of end it on a strong note with that. So those are just a few of the activities. Again, so much was going on this year. I couldn't even list them all, but I just wanted to give you some highlights to let you know what we've been working on. I'm hopeful. I'm excited about 2021, as I think we all are. I think it's going to be a good year. I think there's some great opportunities for us. We are unfortunately going to be starting off with a challenge. We have to cancel our annual dinner, which is our biggest event of the year. So that makes me sad. It is our biggest fundraiser as well. So financially, we will be starting off with a little challenge, but I am 100% confident that we're going to be able to provide some excellent services for our community and our business, and that we're going to make it a powerful year. So I'm excited. Anything I didn't cover that you were interested about or wanted to know more about or had questions on? I covered a lot really fast. Sorry.
I think you did a great job.
Okay.
You covered a lot of information. You have a lot of information to cover. And you
There's a
just
lot.
Yep.
Sandwiched it in there, so.
Okay.
Good.
And the little handout is just kind of a little overview of everything. So if you see something that you want to know a little bit more about, just let me know. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Candy, very much.
This time we'll move into new business. Discussion and action to make an appointment to the Planning Commission. We have one applicant, John Vest. Would you please come to the podium? Just give us a little bit of background, and your sheet was a little slim on what you wrote, so I don't know you. I'd be interested to tell me a little bit about yourself and what interests you in the Planning Commission.
Well, I'm 61. I was born and raised here in Coffeyville. I was starting at age 14. I was with the police department as a police cadet for 4 years. I went to JC's. I was a member of the JC's for about 6 years. I was a member of the Civil Air Patrol here in Coffeyville. I am actually a ham operator and part of the Montgomery County emergency management. I am on NIMS on that and racist. I am the past president of our local clubs. I have done just about everything. I've been on the LEPC committee in Montgomery County, and I was on it for 10 years. Done communications, and I'm just interested in Coffeyville and seeing it grow and making sure everything's okay.
All right. Questions or comments for Mr. Vest from the commission? Anyone care to make a motion? Thank you for your interest, Mr. Vest. We appreciate your time. We'll move into discussion and action to make an appointment to the Juvenile Community Correction Board. Applicant Marilyn Goodson, please come to the podium and give us a little background about yourself.
Yes.
Yours was considerably more detailed, so I wasn't picking on him, and I'm not picking on you. I'll say the same thing. So.
Really, I didn't think it was enough, but I too was born here in Coffeyville when it was Coffeyville Memorial, to tell you how long ago that was. And I don't know, you want to know my interest, why I'm interested?
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, every day at noon, we pray for the youth of our country. And I just saw the opening, and I felt compelled to fill it because, like my application said, I've raised my kids, their kids, and now my grandkids kids are having great grandkids, number 9 on the way. So I feel I got a pretty good grasp about what kids need.
Good.
And so I think I can be instrumental in helping. I just want to help.
Good. Questions or comments for Ms. Goodson?
I'll make a motion to appoint Marilyn Goodson to the Juvenile Community Corrections Board for the unfinished term expiring June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maxon, to appoint applicant Marilyn Goodson to the Juvenile Community Corrections Board for the unfinished term expiring June 30th, 2023. Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. All right, discussion and action to make appointments to the Parks Advisory Board. We have 2 applicants, we have 2 openings. Applicant Frankie Hall and Bob Kriebel. One of you can come up, take your turn.
Well, I guess I've been on the board for the last 4 years, give or take. Have seen and have improved several of the parks around the community. We've got plans moving forward. We just met last night, the Parks Board did, on them developing some different, developing some more of the parks, looking at different ways to get grants and whatnot. Anyway, I think we've improved several of the parks.
Would agree.
Yes.
And we've still got some stuff that we're heading toward completing. So I'd like to be on for the next 4 years, or whatever it is.
Yep,
And
4 years.
look forward to serving, if you'll accept me.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
All right?
Thank you.
Bob? Do we want to vote on them one at a time or just vote at once?
Hello, I'm Bob Kriebel, and I've been on the Parks Advisory, one term, and would like to do it again. I know you guys been by North Park and seen the improvements there in our painting details, and we got some more plans we're gonna do shortly. We'll be giving you guys some information what we're gonna do, what we'd like to do. And we're seeing a lot of progress, and we're getting a lot of donations, and we wanna put that in our city of Coffeyville.
Good.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much.
I'll
Thank
just,
you very much.
the only comment I'll make is thank you guys, both.
Yes.
Really, the parks are much improved. We can see a step difference in where we're at compared to where we were just a
We got
few
more
short
people
years
now to
ago.
work with, and we're trying to make some good
Yep.
improvements.
Doing a good job.
Yeah, I
Very
think
good job.
you're all doing a very good job.
Well, there's a lot of hands-on involved in that as well, so it's
Yep.
not just.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you, guys.
Well, then I think you helped us with finding a city motto, because you put on here, "I love the Ville," so
Yeah,
I think that's it right there.
Yeah. I'll make a motion, and if you all don't mind, I'll make it this way. If you want it different, then let me know. I move to appoint Frankie Hall and Robert Kriebel to the Park Advisory Board for terms expiring January 1st, 2025.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Mayor Bauer, to appoint Frankie Hall and Bob Kriebel to the Park Advisory Board for the terms expiring January 1st, 2025. Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye,
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Thank you both very much.
thank you.
Yes.
Mayor, Commissioners, I would like to say thank you to both of them. They have vast knowledge of Coffeyville, and it's a great board, and they're progressive, and I think, like the commission said, they don't mind getting out and working. And that's very rare to some boards. But
Yep.
they've been great, and thank you for all that you do.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, moving to Resolution R-20-84, a resolution to approve the subdivision plat submitted by Coffeyville Hospitality LLC. Building Inspector Matt Conger will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioner. Last Tuesday, the Planning and Zoning Board met about this specific property, 202 West 11th, to replat to break off that corner, the southwest corner of that property. I can answer questions if you have any, and Rick Thompson is here as well.
Well, Rick, do you have anything to say?
I've never known you not to say something.
I'll give you an opportunity. I mean,
Yeah. Tonight.
Well, you guys know where that's at. That's the green space. That's all the grassed-in area, okay? And, you know, we've had it, you know, well, ever since we bought the lot in, what, Ron, 2008? You know, and, anyway, we have, you know, I don't know how to say this. We have a contract on the corner, so we need to splint it off.
okay, good.
And that's, you know, so
Sure.
I can't go into any other details.
That's understood. Yeah.
You know,
It's all very positive.
hopefully it'll
Yep.
finalize and we'll have a new business there.
Yep.
That's good. That's great.
Other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution R-20-84 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor Doan to approve Resolution R-20-84 as presented. Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxson.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes.
Rick, thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you, guys. Resolution number R-20-85, a resolution to approve the negotiated agreement with FOP, IAFF, IBEW, and IUOE. Director of Human Resources, Allison Pryor, will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The item that you have before you deals with the negotiated agreements for the 4 bargaining units regarding their conditions of employment. The agreement for IUOE covers only 2021, and the other 3 are multi-year agreements covering this year that we're in 2020 and also next year. Negotiations for 2022 can then begin in the spring of 2021. You also have in your packet individual sheets that are summaries of the changes to each of those negotiated agreements. All 4 of those agreements have been signed off by their representative and returned to our office today. And so that's what I have for that item. I'd be happy to answer any other questions if you have them.
Looks like you
A
guys
lot of
did
reading.
extensive work on
Yeah.
this. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
A
lot of reading.
a lot of information.
Yes.
For us.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments?
I don't have any. Everything's good.
Thank you for your work.
Yes, thank you,
Yes,
Allison.
appreciate that very much.
I will move to approve Resolution R-20-85 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner York to approve Resolution R-20-85 as presented. Commissioner Maxson.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Thank you, Allison.
I'd like to thank Allison for all that she did, and I'd also like to thank the unions for being very understanding to our situation. They were fantastic to deal with, and they do understand what we need to do to move forward. So I just want to say a personal note to thank them for working with us and coming up with a solution. So, thank you.
Thank
It's
you,
great
Mark.
that it's a spirit of cooperation and not
Yes.
a,
Right.
combative. So,
Right.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
because
good.
Thank you.
too many times I can go the other direction.
Oh, absolutely.
So, we'll move into resolution number R-20-86, a resolution to authorize the issuance of a purchase order to Kansas Eastern Regional Insurance Trust for workers' compensation insurance coverage for the city of Coffeyville to be effective January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. Director of Human Resources, Allison Pryor, will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners, in 2013, the City of Coffeyville joined CARET, which is the Kansas Eastern Region Insurance Trust for workers' compensation insurance coverage. As part of the trust, the city has a membership agreement for 3 years. CARET was established in 1986 as a member-driven organization, meaning that we not only are a member of that, but we are also engaged and accountable and have a person sitting on the board of that trust. Currently, there are 18 different members, 15 cities, 2 counties, and 1 Parks and Recreation Board, and each of us have a representative on that Board of Trustees. CARET offers to us an additional average of 50 hours of safety training per year for each member. Premium discounts are offered through CARET Plus, which benchmarks our improvements of each member organization. The CARET Plus program advocates timely reporting of claims, post-offer physical assessments for new employees, wellness programs, physical assessments of public safety personnel, facility inspections, safety committees, accident investigations, safety training, and much more. Another benefit to Carrot is the potential to receive annual dividends based on the pool's performance for the year. Since 2014, we've had the opportunity to receive dividends in future years based on this group's performance. We recently received our third annual dividend this year in the amount of $13,405. We will continue to focus on maximizing our Carrot Plus discount by maintaining current training efforts, along with an emphasis in our highest incident areas, which for us are slips, trips, and falls, and sprains and strains. This year, our staff earned the full 5% discount following our annual review. Our safety committee also plans to perform more on-the-job safety inspections to ensure a safe workplace for all of our employees. Staff recently received this renewal quote for workers' compensation for the upcoming year, and the quoted premium is $126,701. This is an increase from the amount that was quoted to us in 2020, and some of those factors affecting the increase are changes to our experience modification from previous years due to some high claims that we had. Also, changes to rate premiums that are set by other entities. And then in addition to that, we've made an effort to more closely project our 2021 estimated payroll based on our 2019 audit. The final result of all of that is a quoted premium rate of $1.69 per $100 of payroll. You have attached to this in your packet the premium projections and also the 2021 certificate of coverage. And if you have any other questions about this item, I'd be happy to answer them.
I don't have any
I
questions.
mean, your experience modification, yes, did go up, but anything under a 1 is great. And that's good. Very good.
I'll move to approve Resolution R-20-86 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Maxon, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve Resolution R-20-86 as presented. Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Allison.
Resolution number R-20-87, a resolution to approve the City of Coffeyville fee schedule for 2021. City Clerk Melissa Carter will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners, the City of Coffeyville fee schedule includes fees for various services in the city. It is reviewed annually. In your packet were the changes that are being proposed to make. The largest changes would be with the new permitting section to reflect the resolution R-20-77 that was passed. We would be removing the previous building permit and permitting sections. There's a few changes to licensing, just adding some licenses for mechanical and a couple of apprentice licenses. The Oakcrest building, we are proposing changing to a $35 rental fee from a $25 rental fee to match the deposit rate. Removing the Youth Activity Center from the building rentals, as we do not rent that out. It is primarily used by the Boys and Girls Club and also the Rec Center. And then also the change to the water meter testing fee. If you have any questions, I can answer those, or we do have department heads here that can field those questions as well.
I don't really have any questions, but I think this does kind of open up a good window to who do individuals contact to rent buildings in Coffeyville, including Veterans Memorial Stadium?
We don't have Veterans Memorial Stadium on our fee schedule. They do contact me, and so what we have right now is basically Oakcrest Building and the Ron Stevenson Building.
Okay.
The Youth Activity Center has been on there, but again, I have been here since February, not gotten one call to rent it. It's hard to schedule with Boys and Girls Club using it, and then also the rec using it for practices.
Understood.
Yeah, then we do also rent like the stadium, you know, for the fair and, you know, different activities like the circus. Not a lot this year, obviously,
Right.
but that's on there as well.
The only one I had kind of questioned was our campground fees. So, I mean, to me, we're pretty cheap on those when you look at what other campgrounds charge.
Yeah.
Can we
And Jim Bradshaw, we've done some research on that. Earlier this year, we did call around and we do have a comparison sheet of the different amenities, the different costs. He did look at that, and I know that he will be reviewing that, I think, this next year for some changes for the
My main
next
concern
year.
there was we do have a private campground in this area, and so I don't, as a city, I don't want to be undercutting our private sector pieces, right? So that's why I asked that we look at that. So,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, we've done the background work on that to look at it and gonna dive into that more for next year.
Good point.
Good.
Yep, good. Any other questions or comments? I will make a motion, or I will move to approve Resolution R-20-87 as presented.
I'll second. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Next, okay. Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Maxon to approve Resolution R-20-87 as presented. Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Discussion and action to approve a 2021 cereal malt beverage licenses. City Clerk Melissa Carter will make comments.
The city has received 17 applications for 2021 cereal malt beverage license renewals for businesses. The fire department has inspected each business location and they are all in compliance. Background checks have been completed by KBI. All renewals meet the requirements set out by state statute and all are eligible to be licensed in 2021. Therefore, we are requesting approval of the licenses. Do you have
Any
questions?
changes from last year on here?
There was, well, the one Little Charo that we had approved middle of the year, they are
Yep.
no longer in business. And then we did have one that's still in business, but is not, because of COVID, they haven't had a lot of dine-in, so they are not going to be renewing their CMB. If that changes mid-year next year, I let them know that they can come in and we can start the process and then bring
Sure.
it back to you guys.
Good, yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the 2021 cereal malt beverage licenses.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor Doan to approve 2021 cereal malt beverage licenses. Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
City-
And I
oh.
would just like to say that it's nice that we have all our ducks in a row. And nothing in years past, but there's always seemed to be something that's kind of caught us up, so.
Waiting on background checks or something, yeah.
It's
We have
nice
to get it
to
on
have it
there.
all done.
Yeah. Thank you. Good point. City managers report.
Mayor, Commissioners, just want to start off by thanking all of staff. We're going into the end of the year, and we are still working on projects. I know you've seen up at North Park, we're progressing. It is one of those, we have some things going on. The Parks Board, which we are in the process of working, and I think this is, I want to commend the electric department, but there is a GRDA, which is to make a donation to the city. As far as equipment, it is an application, and I want to thank the electric department, but then, of course, the Parks Board is putting that together, selecting equipment. They're stretching their funds that they do have and going to do some fantastic work, and there's also a talk of next year. But the electric department reached out and talked to GRDA and what we're wanting to do with quality of life, and GRDA is a great partner. And so that is going on. Staff it's finishing up the year. I know you're aware of what they've done to the alley. And down there, there's a lot of things that between now and the end of the year we've got to accomplish. It might run into the first of next year, but from the codes, I do have two commissioners that will look onto that. I believe everyone received a copy. Those are, and I think I've sent a picture of that
I
stack.
just thought Thomas in the background was the best part of that picture.
Well, I had him scoot back as far as he could, so.
So he didn't bang his head on those books?
The books are huge. But it is one of those that we're going to get a lot of done. There's some things that going to ask the commission, for focus on the next year. Of course, we have the amendments of, like tonight, but there's a lot of good things coming. We're gradually going along for our director's position for housing, and we hope to do that with a budget starting the first of the year. We've already had some interest in, and we'll follow those leads up, but with affordable housing. So we've got some things already going that we're going to rev up and go. Codes are a big part of this. It is some other things that we're wanting to do with property management, and that is work with businesses, but we also, those that are vacant, that are not, I guess you want to say, protecting their partners by just having a vacant building, and if something should happen, there is no insurance, there is nothing. We're going to address those issues. It's going to be a battle and going along. We do not intend to hurt anyone. We just want to work with people to get this where if you have property and that you own, of course you have your insurance and you're taking care of your business, but the person next to you, should something happen, they're covered and you're covered. So these are some big things, big challenges, but I think it's going to be an exciting year next year. We will move forward no matter what with COVID. We're going to pursue it. We have had some discussions with USDA and those, and they feel they'll start getting back to normal. It's just that is kind of waiting to ramp up at the first of the year, is because everybody's still in this fog of, can we meet, can we not meet? Do you want to start this? And then you find out contractors, if you're awarded this, contractors can't do the work, this stuff. And then you got families with USDA that's what they're talking about is in the self-help program, you're going to have to now take in consideration COVID-19. So it's moving them together, but we're excited. But thank you to staff, thank you to electric, thank you to our public service department, all the departments, and just did something phenomenal this year. They stuck together, and we had this, nobody knew. I know there's been some changes going down about masks and these things, but staff all taking all consideration did such a great job in sticking together, taking care of each other, and holding tight. They did a great thing on budget, and now's not the time to spend, and they didn't. So I just want to thank them. And if there's any other questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
I don't have any questions. Moving to comments from the commissioners and staff. I do have one comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one thing. Could I have Chris Felix come up and tell us about our fiber
Yes.
project?
I noticed that
Sorry.
was in our budget.
Sorry, Chris. I about forgot.
He was running as soon as you said it.
Should have had him stay up here last time. I hear him.
Yep.
There he is.
Mayor, Commissioners, wanted to give you an update on where we are with the project. If it continues as smooth as it has been, they will be done by Tuesday next week.
Wow. Good.
They're hoping to deploy 90,000 feet by this Friday and then clean up some little stuff by Tuesday. So
Nice.
we're still under budget, so, and
It's even better.
they're getting after it, so.
We like to hear those things. On schedule and under budget.
under budget.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
the way
So,
that's the way projects should run.
This crew is very fast, so.
Good. Yeah, that's very
Just
good to
wanted
hear.
to give you an update on that.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you, Chris. That's great.
So really, the only comment I had was, over the last couple weeks, well, since Thanksgiving, most people know that we've had a lot of shootings going on around Coffeyville. And I want to give a big shout out to the Coffeyville Police Department. They are working countless hours. I actually spoke to the chief of police on Saturday evening about 10:30, and he was out around town himself, along with an abundance amount of police officers from Coffeyville and surrounding communities, helping Coffeyville to try to put an end to whatever's going on. So I know there's a lot of it's a little unnerving going out after dark, and and hearing gunshots is very scary, and I'm sure you've read social media posts about people that live around those areas and their houses have holes in them now. So I just want to try to ease everyone's mind as much as we can to say that our police presence to try to get this resolved is second to none. I mean, they are doing a great job, and I know they want to put this to rest just as bad as everyone around here wants to put it to bed. So again, thank you to that group and everyone else, and I want everyone to stay safe. Just be aware, right, as much as anything. Be aware of your surroundings and know what's going on.
If you see something, say something.
That's right. That's
it.
right.
That's
I
it.
think that's been some of the difficulty from the police department is no one, the people that do see, they don't want to talk about it. So I don't know if that's out of fear or what, but I encourage anyone to speak to the police if you know something about this or who's involved, because we need to get this resolved as soon as possible.
Well, the unfortunate piece of this is it won't be one of the intendeds.
Right.
It'll be the one getting hurt. It'll be some little child or somebody completely innocent will be the ones that get hurt out of this. And that's the scary part of all this.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
Yep.
Anything else?
So I had two things, and I completely drew a blank, and I had to really fish back in the records there. But I love it when we see the sales tax updates in the agenda packet.
She read your mind.
I just kind of want to know where we stand. We're about to. Perfect. Thank you.
Actually, it will save me from writing all this in an email, so.
Very good.
Okay, last month, we showed total collections were 9.61% above where we were at last year. This month, that has slipped to 4.11% of where we were last year. But if you'll remember back in November of last year, we had a large sales tax collection, large enough that it concerned me, and I called the state to make sure it was correct, and they did some research and said, yes, it is you're correct. So we are still above where we were last year, which was above where we have been in the past few years. So collections are still strong, higher than what we anticipated, higher than what we budgeted, so that's good.
Yeah, very good.
We want to encourage everyone to keep spending locally. We can definitely see a difference where people are doing that, so.
Good.
Very good.
And the activity that downtown's doing right now helps
Yeah.
promote that,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Plus, draws more people to the community, so.
That's right. That's right.
We had excellent attendance both Friday and Saturday night in the markets downtown. So I want to thank folks for coming out and shopping those, and just encourage people to continue to do so. There's some great merchandise down there, that helps support local folks. So
Definitely.
yep.
Absolutely. And with the candlelight tours, I know there's still tickets available for those, so please go online and purchase those and go out and see the mansion too.
Because in regards to sales tax, what stays here grows here.
That's
And
right.
That's so true.
Well, and we want to thank the Yoke too, because they're donating funds back to the Brown Mansion for those that show their tickets when they come, so that's
great.
wonderful.
Good.
Good cooperation between all
Yep.
the entities.
That is.
Yeah.
That is.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie.
I'll send you the report.
Thank you. The other question I had was regarding the CDC and their new update with anybody who's exposed.
Yes.
Directly goes into quarantine. Are we adopting that for our city staff?
we had our discussion today, and as it goes forward, we are, KDHE is still recommending on quarantine the 14-day. There has been on first responders a new protocol which nobody's adopted it yet. It is one of those that I think everybody is see how this goes. With the reduction from 14 to 10 and squeezing down, we are going to still go with the KDHE with that as the 14, but we will see how it goes. We just felt that with this, we're pushing, and to try to push people back out, we've got to get people familiar that they do understand that if you could come back in 7 days, don't come back if you feel bad, even though it's saying, and that's what we are going to kind of see how this goes along. But we've been talking to, other first responders in other cities, and they're the same way that, you're going to need them, but you also sit there and go, if we start putting people back out and then we spread it by bringing them back too early, that puts us behind. So it is a play by ear. We met this morning, and that's what we discussed, and it was, as a group, we felt that the 14-day is what we will do as this unfolds, and we'll see if that, if it turns out this is a good process. I even watched some information from Tulsa. The schools are trying to speed this up on the quarantine because they're having the family members sick, but then the kids that are younger, they're in quarantine for 14 days. And they're saying, well, they're not getting it, so then they're speeding it up, and it's kind of a mixed, that we like the idea that they can come back in 7 days or in 10 days, which is, 3 or 4 days early. But some are going, well, if they get sick, what is this good for? Bringing people back, trying to bring them early. So we're going to watch it and see that, but we did meet this morning on it.
Okay.
Good update.
The reason I ask is we followed the county pretty much as what they've done, and this week they adopted those CDC changes, so I just want to make sure we're aware.
Well, and that's what, I know you've been aware of some of the things that are coming out of county. It is one of those that it was kind of leaving it up in the air on some of these things, and I know the commission, the masks, the mandates, yes, and going back and forth. I think it is, and I know the commission just wants everybody just take a deep breath and be safe.
That's right.
And, there's people that won't wear masks, and there's people that will. And it is one of those, I think your intention is not to force anybody to do anything, but it is with the idea that if you can keep a business open by doing your part, be it with a mask or without, just do as much as we can to keep businesses open and running, travel, these things. So, but it is, we're on our part, we still at City Hall in this commission meeting, we're still wearing masks, and everybody has the right. And I know that that is and hasn't been a force one way or the other. It's
Right.
just, it's all work together and keep safe. So.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Anything else?
Nope. I have nothing.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion's made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to adjourn. May I see a show of hands?